Hello and welcome to Cooking Up Remote Learning, 3 extensions to make you a remote learning top chef. There is absolutely no question that this year in education has been insane. Between all the different variations of remote learning, whether we're talking live remote learning like synchronous, or whether we're talking recorded remote learning like asynchronous, teachers have been presented with a ton of new challenges and have been given a ton of new technology to use. Today, I'm not going to overwhelm you with a bunch of crazy tools that are coming at you at 90 miles an hour. I'm going to give you 3 Chrome extensions that are going to be easy to install and easy to use that are going to really power up your use of Google Chrome in your remote teaching. Okay? So I'm going to be simple and I'm going to be direct with you in this next 30 minutes, and we're going to talk about these 3 extensions. So let's go ahead and get started. Who am I? I am Samantha Dushare. I go by Sam. And you can find me at all the things on Tech for Y'all. So TechForYall. My name is terrifying to spell, so Tech for Y'all seemed like a simple and more southern flair way to let people find me. Okay? When I first started going to Ed Tech sessions, I heard John Carippo say that his sessions come with lifetime tech support. And I thought that that was just the most wonderful thing. So whether you think of something in 6 hours, 6 days, 6 months, 6 years, you're like, oh, I remember Sam said something about this Chrome extension and I can't figure it out. You can always contact me. There is no time limit on it at techforyall@gmail.com. Or you can find me on Twitter under Tech for Y'all, or there's a million ways to contact me at my website as well, which is techforyall.org. Okay. So just know that I'm here for you. I am on this crazy remote learning journey with you. I am the instructional technology coordinator for a small-ish district outside of Little Rock, Arkansas. And so I have been right there in the trenches with my teachers all year long, trying to give them any and all assistance that is possible in this crazy time, in this crazy year. In Arkansas, it's been a lot of synchronous. So that's sort of what we've been doing, is a lot of synchronous. And sometimes our teachers have been tasked with synchronous with kids in the room and kids at home at the same time. So, it's been a crazy year. You can find these slides at bit.ly/edtech-top-chef. That is case sensitive. So the E and the T in EdTech are going to be capitalized. So I would go ahead, and since you're watching this asynchronously, I would just pause it and I would type in bit.ly/edtech-top-chef and find these slides for you. All of my slides are going to have links to what we're talking about, so it's just going to be easier to navigate and grab the different resources if you have the slides up in front of you, or maybe just keep them up for afterwards, whatever works best for you. What is a Chrome extension, right? We've got to start with talking about what a Chrome extension is for people who don't know. So a Chrome extension is a little piece of code that's going to extend or augment the functionality of the Google Chrome web browser. So the Google Chrome web browser is going to have that icon that's in the corner. So it's the circular, colorful icon. If you're on a Mac or a PC, it's a separate web browser. If you need to download it, that Google Chrome icon will actually take you directly to the download page. So if you click on that, you can pop right in and get it downloaded, and just pause this video and come back once you have it downloaded. Okay. Google Chrome is an awesome, awesome web browser. I know that I am definitely biased, but it is my favorite thing because of extensions. They really give you the power to be a super user of Google Chrome. And I'll tell you too, a big secret that a lot of people don't know is a lot of these Chrome extensions are actually written by teachers. So you're going to find as you go through the Chrome Web Store, which is the store where all of the Chrome extensions live, you're going to see a ton of stuff that you're like, oh, that would be really helpful for me. Well, that'd be really helpful for you because a lot of this was written by teachers. Okay? So these little pieces of code are really going to extend the functionality and the use of Google. Just know that on Mac and PC, it's a separate web browser. If you're on a Chromebook, you're automatically in the Chrome web browser. Okay? So to find the Chrome Web Store, you can just go ahead and click on this link. This will take you right to the Chrome Web Store. When you're in Google Chrome, if you notice, you can go up to the top up here and there's a little star in your address bar, or Google likes to call it an omnibox. So there's a star in the right-hand side of this omnibox. When you click on that, that's how you bookmark something. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and click Add a Bookmark. I can give my bookmark a name, and I can choose what folder to store it in for bookmarks. Okay? That's going to make it a lot easier for you to navigate back to the Chrome Web Store so you don't have to Google it every time. So I would take a second, go ahead, favorite this, and that way you can get back to the Chrome Web Store whenever you want. When you're in here, you can search the store by typing in this box up in the right-hand corner, and you can also find themes. Okay, one of the questions I always get after I do a session is, how is your Chrome web browser black at the top? I do that with a theme from the Chrome Web Store because I think it makes it the contrast makes it easier to see what I'm talking about when I'm talking about extensions. Okay? So you can find themes and you can find extensions here. You're going to see just right here on the front page, you've got custom cursors, sticky notes, a lot of things that are going to help improve your workflow. Once again, a lot of things that are going to be related to school. Okay. So if I pop back into my slides, you now know what a Chrome web extension is, right? It's that piece of code that's going to extend or augment your functionality of Chrome. So let's go ahead and talk about our first extension. One of the biggest things that you can use to sort of power up your use of Chrome is to get a cursor highlighter. This sounds ridiculously simple, but it makes such a huge difference. For anyone who's watching, even you at home, you're going to notice once I turn on this cursor highlighter, it is so much easier for you to track what I'm doing. Take this as a moment where you can identify with your students. If you haven't been using a cursor highlighter and you notice it's a lot easier to follow along with me once I have one on, imagine how our students feel. Okay, these cursor highlighters are super simple extensions. This picture here will take you right to the cursor highlighter page for this exact same extension that I'm using. Yours will say add to Chrome, not remove from Chrome. You can click add to Chrome and then you'll have to allow it and give it permissions. I already have mine installed. So if I go back into my slides, do note whenever you turn the cursor highlighter on and off, it will reload the page. Okay, so you're going to see my page reload. So let's go to a page that's not going to mess up my presentation. And I would just go navigate up here to the right-hand side of my Chrome browser. In the top right corner is where you see your bookmarks. Okay, your bookmarks and your extensions. So, a couple things to note. These three dots here, if I click on these, I can navigate down to bookmarks. And this is how I can turn my bookmarks bar on and off. That's a thing that trips people up all the time. How do I get my bookmarks bar? You just bookmarked the Chrome Web Store. How do we find it? Show bookmarks bar and it'll show up. Okay. So your bookmarks are under your Omnibox, and to the right of your Omnibox are your extensions. Okay. These are going to function like little menus. When you click on them, you'll see that a little menu pops up. So if I want to go ahead and click on my cursor highlighter, I can click on it. A little menu pops up. I could choose a color. I think red would probably be good. And it's going to reload the page. And then you'll notice I also have to click enable. Okay. And now that I have enabled that and I've chosen a color, you can see my cursor highlighter, right? I could go up and I could choose cyan instead of rose. And then I've got a blue cursor highlighter. Small note, if you have never used an extension before, in one of the last updates of Google, they made it so you can toggle extensions on and off under this puzzle piece. So this puzzle piece is going to be an important menu for you if you have never used an extension before. When you click on the puzzle piece, you'll see an extension menu comes up, and you can see all of your extensions. The big thing to note here is that the extensions that have a little thumbnail highlighted next to them are the extensions that are turned on and are showing up right here in your bar. I am a big extension user. You can see that this is a really long list. The thing to know about extensions is you are running a little extra piece of code within Chrome. So if you have a bunch of them running at once, it will slow you down a little bit. So right now for this presentation, I just have what I need pinned. And then that means that it shows up here. You can click on the puzzle piece menu again and it'll go away. But you notice until I turn it off, I'm still going to have my cursor highlighter. Okay. It's going to make it so much easier for anyone watching my presentation, whether I'm teaching synchronously or asynchronously, to follow along, especially with asynchronous videos where you are trying to demonstrate something. This will make a huge difference in students' ability to follow along. Okay. If I hop back into my presentation, I can go back up in here to the right corner and I can enable, let's do Lime. It's going to reload that page. But now I've got my Lime cursor highlighter and I can just hop right back into my presentation. And when I'm not in present view, you guys will be able to see what I'm doing. Okay. So think about that cursor highlighter. It's going to be super, super helpful for you and getting kids to be able to pay attention, especially if you're doing something that has steps, right? Hi. So our main course. This is the most powerful Chrome extension that I have ever interacted with or used. Okay. You spell it like you say it. So I call it IORAD. Okay. It's spelled IORAD. Now, once again, this picture is going to be a link. So if you click on this, you'll see the link and you can navigate directly to the page in the Chrome Web Store where you could log this in. Okay. Also notice you're going to see right here that this icon is what shows up on my Chrome extension bar because I already have it downloaded. So if I go back into my presentation and I click on IORAD, IORAD is really amazing. What IORAD is going to do is it's going to save you time on the little stuff, procedural things, so that you have time for the bigger stuff. I know that one of the biggest things that my teachers have had a real struggle with, especially with littles, is just the procedural students getting into the meets, getting into the correct meets at the correct time, students opening the correct assignments for the correct classes on the correct days, students learning how to log in and check their grades. All of these things that maybe they would have assistance with in the classroom, or maybe they didn't even need to do in the classroom, they now need to be able to navigate to at home. Depending on the age of your kids and whether they're a little squirrely or not, which most of mine were a little squirrely. I was a veteran middle school teacher. You're going to have a lot of questions, and it's the same question over and over again. For us, they use eSchool for grades. So a lot of it is, how do I log into eSchool to get my grades? We're going to hear this over and over and over and over again. To save you time on that, you can use IORAD to build tutorials about how to do these procedural things. IORAD is a really cool Chrome extension. I'm going to show you how it works in a minute. But what it's going to do is it is going to follow every click, hover, or step that you make in an action, and it's going to break it down into a step-by-step tutorial. Okay. So I could log into my kid's grade portal, do all the login steps, and then hit end on IORAD, and it will have logged all of those steps and made an interactive tutorial that I can just access at a static link at any time. So I keep a list of those static links. I send them to parents and students as replies and emails. And I've also got that list up in whatever my LMS is. So all of my teachers have that list up in their Google Classroom. And then it lets students go back and find it on their own and teach themselves that skill. Instead of asking and having someone else do it for them every time or someone else demonstrate it for them every time, they know where to go to find the information and they can follow the tutorial and complete it on their own. This, over the span of a year, can save you hours of time of describing and writing out in emails how to do things like access a gradebook over and over and over again. Okay, so IORAD is an incredible tutorial builder. When you click on your little IORAD icon, which is to the right of your Omnibox where your extensions live, you'll see a menu comes up. Okay, these are my last few IORADs that I made. My account is up here. If you have never used it before, you're going to have to sign in with Google. So just know that's going to have to happen. You can pause me and pop in and do that if you need to do that. But if I wanted to capture, I could hit the capture button in the upper left-hand corner of my menu. Before capture, close non-essential tabs. During capture, perform the action slowly. And finish the capture, you're going to click the blinking extension. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click start. 3, 2, 1. I'm getting a countdown. And now let's just practice something simple, like going up here. And let's change the permissions on this. And we'll copy the link. And we'll hit done. So the action that we performed was changing the permission from commenter to viewer on the presentation. Now I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click on the blinking extension to hit done and finish my tutorial capture. So it's going to process, and then it's going to come up with this. You'll see that it's saving in the upper left-hand corner here, and you'll see that there were 10 steps. I can navigate through the steps, but look at how awesome this is. IORAD detected that it was a left click, and it wrote out the steps. The first step is to open Google Cooking Up Remote Learning, Google Slides, and click Share. You can edit any of this text. So I can edit this and type in whatever I need. But it is pretty intuitive. Like you saw that those directions were correct. I can also add audio here. I can mask some content. What does that mean? That means if I was logging into my gradebook and I realized, ooh, maybe my account number was up, or maybe they saw me type in my password, I can mask that now so that nobody sees it. I can add a whole nother step, duplicate a step, or I can delete the step if I need to. Under advanced settings, you can move the step to a different place in the order of steps. You could import a whole nother tutorial into this tutorial that you've already made, and you can highlight alternative parts. Up here, I can go ahead and navigate through the steps that it's given me. You can see as I navigate through, it delineated between each action that I filled out. You can see it delineated between commenter and viewer. With your mouse, hover over done, click copy link, change it, and once I've checked and I make sure that all the directions are written out correctly, that all of the mouse clicks are correct, I can go ahead and go preview and finish. Once I preview and finish, it's going to look like this. It's going to be a beautiful static link tutorial. So I can go up here and I can change the title if I want. I have up to 100 different characters. You can see that it's a public, and I can just click on link and embed, and all of these are going to come up, and you're going to see I have a direct link. And so if I hover over copy, I can copy that direct link, and if I open a new tab, let's paste and go, and you can see what a finalized IORAD tutorial looks like. Here you go. I would hit start. You can move through the steps. Okay, you're going to see it's pointing out exactly what you need to change a click. There you go. You could go through all the steps. Also notice up here, you can change the steps into any of these languages. This is an awesome, awesome, awesome addition for any of our ESOL or ESL students. Okay, so you could change them into whatever language you would like. It'll reload it and it will automatically translate it for you. So you could keep the links of these in a Google Classroom, in whatever your LMS is, as easy to access, quick access step links. And you just title them for what they are. So this one would be changing the permissions on a Google slide. But this is going to save me hours and hours and hours over a year of just that time that is spent re-demonstrating and retelling simple directions. Okay? This is IORAD. So that was definitely, do we see why that was the main course of the presentation, right? IORAD is a big, big, amazing, amazing tool. Right? So we're going to move on to our third tool, which is our dessert. And we're going to talk about Bitmojis. I am always stunned by how many people come to my sessions and they have Bitmojis on their phones, but they don't use the Bitmoji Chrome extension. The Bitmoji Chrome extension is the coolest thing. So if you click on this picture, this will take you, just like the other ones did, right to the Bitmoji Chrome extension. Okay. And right in here, you could go ahead and add it to your Chrome. Once you get into the Bitmoji Chrome extension, you'll notice you might have to sign in. Okay. So I would need to go ahead and get started and sign in. You can do, some people have logged in with Snapchat on their phone or with an account. So I'm going to log in. So this is just one of those first time scenarios where I had to sign in. So I paused the recording so you didn't see me type in my password. But if you go ahead and sign in and you click on your Bitmoji extension, you'll see that all of the Bitmojis that you normally access on your phone are accessible right from here. Okay. Awesome and amazing. I can do any number of things when I have my Bitmoji menu up. Okay, so this makes me making any sort of HyperDoc, any sort of Google app. If I'm using anything in the Google Suite, whether it's slides, docs, I can go ahead and I can just drag and drop right into what I'm working on. Drag and drop right in, there you go. And now it's a picture and I can move it around. I can change the size, I can change wherever it goes, but I can now easily drag and drop these into my presentation, okay? Additionally, the really cool thing that works on the Chrome extension but doesn't work, at least on Android phones, you iPhone users might have this, but on Android phones you don't, is you can type in something and it will make custom Bitmojis for that. So the one that I use the most is I make a Bitmoji that says, check out these links. And what it'll do is it'll take that text and it will custom make you 1, 2, 3, 4 Bitmojis that have the text that you put in. So if it's under a sentence, okay? So makes it super easy and cool and fun to use in your presentations, your documents, whatever you're doing. Just remember that especially in remote learning, we don't, as teachers, typically like to record ourselves. I know that I have been cringing this entire time recording myself. I love to present live, but having my own little face on the screen freaks me out. Okay? We are not typically the type of people that love to record ourselves or have ourselves on screen. But our kids need to see us now more than ever. Okay. So whenever you can, I'm always encouraging everybody, please include video in your video of your face in any sort of asynchronous thing that you're doing, especially synchronous stuff too. But also put fun things like Bitmojis into your presentations and your documents. This has been an overwhelming year. It's been overwhelming for us. It's also been incredibly overwhelming for students. And having a silly Bitmoji in the presentation could make somebody smile and make the difference in their day. So think about using Bitmojis. So the appetizer in our Cooking Up Remote Learning meal was a cursor highlighter. Our main course was IORAD, that amazing tutorial builder. And then our dessert was Bitmojis. Okay, employing these 3 things is going to make such a huge difference in how your students can track what you're doing, how your students know to go and find answers to those quick sort of things that might take you hours and hours throughout a year, and also how your students feel connected to you with that Bitmoji. Okay. Thank you so much for attending today. Please keep cooking. Realize that this video was given to you as an asynchronous video. So you have the power of pause and you have the power to come back and watch it again. I went quickly. We only had 30 minutes. So remember that you can come back, rewatch things, and use that power of pause. Also remember, I am here for any sort of lifetime tech support you may need at techforyall@gmail.com. The other option that I have for you guys is I know that some people don't want to email me directly, so I've got a Padlet parking lot ready to go for you. If you click on this link in the slides, it'll take you right there. And you're going to have two separate columns. So any questions that you have, and I can answer them. And also your other collaborators in here, so other teachers who watch this session today at the conference, can come in and respond to you as well. This is a really good way to sort of spark discussion asynchronously. So any questions that you have, you would just click this plus button and write your own post. You can add links, pictures, videos, anything you want. To delete it, you would click that button. And you can also share resources out. So do you have anything that's been really awesome for you during this incredible year? Because sharing that would be super, super powerful. Okay. So please, I would encourage you to jump in there and share with your colleagues. But it has been really, really wonderful to be here for this session with you. So please reach out, talk to each other, and talk to me in that Padlet. I'll be making sure to monitor it. And just thank you so much. It was wonderful to have you. Go forth and be top chefs in remote learning. It was great to have you for this half an hour. I'm Samantha Duchère. Thank you.